Welcome to this video, which is designed to show the benefits of using NeverAlone event management software in an event security control room environment, event emergency service center, or general event control room. This software has been developed alongside event security companies across the UK and has taken on board features that have been requested. Once the member of staff has logged onto the system, we can see the screen is split into three different sections. We're going to concentrate on each section in turn. The top section of the screen is the call logging system. This is where you'll log new items. In order to log the call sign, as you can see there, you just type the first couple of letters of the call sign, or alternatively, if you prefer, you can select them from the list. Once you put the call sign in, it automatically brings the information for that member of staff up on the right hand side of the screen. This is there primarily if the call involves sensitive information. For example, things like a lost child you don't necessarily want to put over the airwaves. The next step is to categorise the log. We'll just go for a very simple ejection and fence jumper. You might be lucky and get the fence jumper's name. When that's done, we'll just click Save and New, and we can see it's been populated onto the bottom half of the screen, effectively onto our log. As you can see from the log, you can see the time code of the incident, you can see the call sign of the unit that put it through, category and subcategory all at a glance, summary, which in this case we've just put the gent's name, and whether or not the log is complete. If the log isn't complete, it shows up in red, as these ones here do, which means further action is required, or at least the call sign needs to let us know there's no further action required. The escalated column here is used when a call is escalated to either the police, the ambulance service, or the fire brigade. For example, a tent on fire, a fight, or any other incident where somebody may need backup from the statutory services. We can revisit the log at any time. I'm just going to choose our altercation here, which hasn't been completed. Just revisit it simply by clicking on it. There's no summary information and no detail. If we want to add some detail here, for example, let's say one of our call signs, let's say Alistair there, has included 2 males and 1 female fighting. We could add as much information as we need there. That then pops up in the detail as an additional note. It shows there it's come from Alistair's call sign rather than the original handle. We can see here it was logged by Andy Jones. This is logged by Ali Smith. In order to escalate the call to the police, we simply click the button Make the Call, mark as police aware. If we wanted to, we could add to the log, for example, police CAD ID 12345. Just so it's all there for completeness, so we can see again everything is timestamped. This is the interesting part here where I haven't selected a call sign. It logs it by the operator and doesn't show the call sign there. If we come out of there now, and we'll see with our domestic it's now marked as escalated and complete as no. When that eventually completes, we can simply go in there, click the tick box, mark as no further incident action required, and that's done. We can now see our domestic has turned green, meaning effectively our operator can forget about it. We're now going to log an incident slightly more serious. We're going to deal with a lost child case. So for this we're going to choose Andy from our list. Andy Jones, our manager, and his mobile number there. So for this we're going to choose Lost and Found, unless that's a lost boy. The first thing you can see that's different, a large script has popped up on screen here, which gives our operator information on what they need to do. It's effectively a protocol. By clicking anywhere else in the screen or clicking the tab key on the keyboard, we're faced with a script screen. Now these script screens can be customised by contacting K9 Protection. We can write scripts to do just about any job that you need it to do. What this does, it ensures structured data capture. You can see here on the right hand side, this is the SMS enabled script, meaning that when you've logged the incident, it can send a text message to all of your members of staff who are currently on shift with a mobile telephone. Let's log a call. Let's use my name, Paul Green. Child's date of birth, 1st of the 3rd, 1999. Press tab. It shows us that Paul is 13 years old. Next thing we need is child's authenticity. We can access a drop-down list. It uses the standard IC codes. So let's say the child is IC1 white. What clothing was the child wearing? You can also use this box to input any other identifying marks about the child. So white t-shirt, black shorts, scar on right side of face. There we go. Child's hair colour. These are not hard and fast boxes. Anything that might be useful can be put in. Child's height, so say 4'5". Is the child wearing glasses? Child was wearing sunglasses. Time last seen, 1930 approx. The area the child was last seen, so let's say burger stand. Who was the child loss reported by? So let's say the child loss was reported by his mother. And a contact number for that person. That allows us to make contact with the person instantly as soon as we've got contact with the lost child. Clicking back to log, the software is asking if we want to send a message via SMS. I'm going to say no for the time being. Normally when you say yes at that point, it will send out a message to all the staff with a mobile telephone. It will give them basic information for that child. It's better than putting it across the airwaves, and it increases on the child protection side of things. All the information now, as you can see, has been populated here into the detail screen. Everything we've just keyed in. It's put in there in a populated, structured manner, meaning there's no problem with rambling on, no problem with loads of extra text appearing. Clicking save then new puts the lost child into the incident log. As we can see here, it's colour coded as black, meaning urgent. This tells our operator that they need to pay particular attention to this call, and at a glance know what they need to do. It may be the protocol for yourselves that after 5 minutes the call gets escalated. So after 5 minutes of the child being missing, we'll escalate that to the police. That's done. It may be that after the child going missing you put out a general message, so call sign control, and the general message could be event ops, and it could be a gate closure. So we go event status red, event status amber, which could be your gate closure. Again, very quick information log. That's logged on the side. You can see there our lost boy is still showing as the thing that catches your eye the most in the bottom half of the screen. Another feature of the software, which I'm going to show you briefly, is the ability to link the lost and found child procedures. You can see here I've already added a sneaky record for a found child just to speed things up. What I'm going to do now is show how to link them together. You go parent reunited under lost and found, you get this form appear. So we select the lost report, which if you remember was Paul Green, and then we're going to select a found report. So we've got the one here, 2031, answers to the name of Paul Green. You can take the information, who they were reunited with, so there you go, ID seen. So let's say you've seen the person's driving licence. This is instrumental for making sure that under the child protection policies we're protected, and it allows us to reunite people and assure that we're doing the right thing. You may want to take the driving licence information depending on your take on this, depending on your current procedures. and the relationship to the lost party. So let's say this is Paul Smith is Paul Green's uncle. As you can see here, there's a warning, and this is just advising on some best practice. This can be customised depending on your needs. Once you confirm this, the system will ask you very simply to type yes in the box, and now it's asking us if we'd like to print a found person report. What this is here is a form that can be signed off, giving all the information of the lost child, the information of who they're being handed over to, and can be signed and printed and witnessed by the person that you're handing the child back into the care of. This is instrumental again in protecting us and making sure our child protection policies are maintained. You'll see here it's also closed off our lost child. So the subcategory on Paul Green is no longer showing as black. The found child again is showing as complete. Everything is done in just a few mouse clicks. The next thing we're going to do is look at the capacity details and how these figures are formed. On the right hand side of the screen you can see you've got a count of the number of guests currently on your site, how many in and how many out, giving you an idea of your egress and ingress. You can also see how many people have been ejected and refused. Let's show you how to put this information in. Very quickly, you go to Event Ops, and you can either do a single gate count or multiple gates. Multiple gates is handy if you're having a call round. However, if you just need to get a double check on the clicker count from one gate, single count it is. And tab out, this brings up a script screen where we can choose our gate. So let's go with gate Delta. The ingress of gate Delta we will say is 250 people. Number of people out of gate Delta, 75. Let's say they've ejected 3 people and had no refusals. And clicking back to log, you can see the summary and detail have been filled in with the information. Save and new, and there we have it. The capacity is updated. There's a log there to say that we've just taken that information, which has already been marked as complete, so our operator doesn't need to worry. We can look at the flow of the gates as well by clicking Gate Flow up here on the top right hand side of the screen. Wow. As we can see at a glance, you've got various figures. You can see how many hostile refusals you've got on the right hand side, and then you've got the larger figures for your main ingress and egress on the left. You can see the line graph going through is how many people are on site at any one time. You can see in and out. Basic information which can be seen as a graph. There's also a projection in there, which shows where it thinks it's going to go for the next hour. Within the event control software there are basic reports already included. We're always looking to see which reports you'd like to see included, so if there's anything you need specifically, let us know. We should be able to add it to the software for you. We click into reports here. The 3 reports that you can access from the front end. The ingress chart, very simple report which is just showing a bar chart and a line graph of ingress and egress to the site. You can also see here the black line is a projection of what the crowd figure is going to end up as. This is based on the averages and the flow. Very useful information for your crowd managers in order to plan ahead. There's a complete log, which is literally a copy of everything that's on the log system. And then you have the client incident summary. This is a summary report which can be printed, which shows, let's just zoom in there, you can see how many incidents have been categorized as each type of certain category and subcategory. You can see how many were escalated and how many were not escalated. It also gives some statistical information, percentages of how many people have caused that, how many of each type of incident. This can be instrumental for the following year in order to get licensing to approve the event. Each category and subcategory can be selected on the system as to whether it shows in this report. For example, a radio check, you wouldn't want the client being reported on. whereas a fence jumper, you may need this so the client can tell next year what they need to do to improve. The same as violent incidents, the police and council tend to like to see this information in a nice, clear, concise manner. Event Control has a built-in management interface where you can add clients, sites and events, manage your call categories and tell it which ones appear on reports. You can access the logging system from here, or you can clear your logged in users. Very basic features that are essential in making sure the correct data is on the system. That just about concludes the demonstration for the NeverAlone Event Control software. Since its inception in 2012, NeverAlone Event Control has been complemented by a number of councils, and it's also been attributed to helping to save a couple of lives during the 2012 event season by various ambulance control officers. For further information on the NeverAlone suite, visit www.never-alone.co.uk. You can also email your inquiries to sales@never-alone.co.uk, where they'll be responded to as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.